Hello everyone. In this video we are going to cover the clavicle. So clavicle is this bone right here. This is our main focus in this video. So as you can see, it's an S-shaped bone and it's commonly known as the collarbone. It's the only bony connection between the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton, and the clavicle mainly functions as a weight transferring mechanism by transferring weight of the appendicular skeleton to the axial skeleton. So there are two joints that it forms. One is over here on the medial side and one is here on the lateral side. So this is known as the acromioclavicular joint. And this over here on the medial side is known as the sternoclavicular joint. So this surface over here that I'm highlighting in green, it's the acromio-articulating facet. And this right here, it's actually quadrangular in shape. If you make it 3D, is on the medial side and it's the sternal articulating facet. Now that we've done with the clavicle and its joints, let's look at the bony features of the clavicle. So to look at the bony features of the clavicle, we'll have to look at the clavicle from the inferior view because most of its bony features are visible from the inferior view. So this right here, it's a quadrangular shaped surface. Therefore, this is the sternal end. This over here is a rounded structure. Therefore, it is the acromial end. Now, this structure right here is the costal tubercle. This is where the costoclavicular ligament attaches on the clavicle. Now, what do we mean by costal? Rib. So, the first rib, let's say this is the first rib. So, the first rib and the clavicle, they are attached to one another by a ligament called the costoclavicular ligament. So, this costoclavicular ligament will attach on this costal tubercle on the clavicle. Now next we go to look at this surface, this right here. This surface is the subclavian groove and this is where the subclavius muscle attaches. So this is the subclavian groove. Now this pointed structure right here is the conoid tubercle. So the conoid tubercle is the point of attachment or the site of attachment of the conoid ligament of the coracoclavicular ligament. Next, we have this line. This is the trapezoid line. This is a point of attachment of the trapezoid ligament of the coracoclavicular ligament. Now it's important to note that the conoid tubercle, it will always be pointing to the posterior surface. Now if you're given a clavicle, how will you find the orientation of the clavicle? So here are some points that you must keep in mind to figure out the orientation. So first important fact you need to keep in mind is that we've studied the inferior view of the clavicle to figure out all the bony features. Therefore, inferior view will have most bony features. Next point, quadrangular shaped surface. This is going to be the sternal end. So that is going to be the medial side. And if you find a rounded surface, that's going to be the acromial end. The conoid tubercle, like I mentioned, it points towards the posterior surface. Using these facts of orientation, we can figure out whether the clavicle is the right side clavicle or the left side clavicle. So let's figure out which side does this clavicle belong to. So it has the sternal end over here. That means this side should be medial and this side should be lateral. This is the inferior view because we have all the bony sides over here, and this is going to be the posterior side. So therefore, this might be the right clavicle. So that's all we have for the clavicle. This is a view of the entire thing that we've covered. I hope this video was helpful. That's all we have for today. Thank you.